guys, back-to-back videos, same shirt, don't care, over it. This video I'm going to be talking about applying to Ryerson School of Fashion. It's been a while since I've done so, of course, because I'm third year now, so it's been 3 years. I applied in January 2014 to attend in September 2014, and now I'm approaching 2017. Between those 3 years, there's been a significant change to the entrance portfolio, which is, in my opinion, it's easier now. So resume, put relevant information on it that you feel will show off who you are as a person, your work ethic, your interest, to show off that you're multifaceted. It's competitive, the average, in the sense that whatever the average is from that year, that'll be the middle point, and then those below it will be discarded, and those above them will be looked at further. So I'm unsure what the average was, but I got early acceptance because I was determined for my marks not to be the reason I didn't get into the school, because I only applied to Ryerson when I came here. So my average coming out of high school was a 92%. I was a huge overachiever, but I mean, it relieves so much stress getting early acceptance. As for the portfolio guidelines, you can find them on the School of Fashion website, but the ones I'm talking about, you won't, because again, I applied 3 years ago. So for mine, because I applied to fashion design, there were a bunch of different requirements. However, I also applied to fashion communication, so I actually created 2 separate portfolios for each program because they're totally separate entities, and I got accepted to both. For fashion design, I had to sew 3 different garments and photograph them and send them in. Not the garments again, just the photographs. And I wrote little blurbs about them, about what they were, like what design features there were in the garments, what they were made of, and so on and so forth. The things I made were a button-up shirt, a pair of dress pants, and a formal dress, like a cocktail dress. I chose to do that because I felt it showed off a different skill set with each one. I chose to use domestic patterns, so i.e. I did not design them myself, because the caliber of my design was not as high as the caliber of my sewing skills. I'm there to show off my sewing skills. Like, I'm going to design school to learn design, so I'm not concerned with showing that off. I want to show them that I have the technical skills that have the potential to be improved at the school. The way I photographed them, I just had them photographed by myself with my mom. We hung up a sheet on the wall, and she took them for me. The other category I had to do was fashion illustration. So I illustrated 3 things: a woman's evening wear gown inspired by historical dress. So I did a dress inspired by I think Roman Baroque art. I did a men's casual day wear, and I did women's day wear as well. So 3 illustrations. There were more illustrations, but not fashion illustrations. One was a picture of your favorite shoe. So I did a nice pair of Christian Louboutin's that looked very fancy. And you also had to illustrate a self-portrait. And I actually did 2 different self-portraits because I didn't really know which one I liked better. And I mean, it doesn't really matter now, I'm here, but like, both were pretty derpy. As for communication, I had similar stuff to hand in. I had to do all those fashion illustrations. I had to do the 2 other illustrations with the shoe and self-portrait. However, garments were not required for communication. I had to submit a logo design for a Canadian designer, and so I chose Sunny Fong and his label called VAWK, V-A-W-K, and I designed a logo for that and displayed on a business card and on a hang tag, so garment tag. The other thing I had to do graphic design for the communications program was a poster for a fashion event. So just like a general fashion show. So I did one for a designer in China that I love the collection of and just made it up. For this poster that I did, I photographed one of my friends from high school and just edited it. Aside from the artistic part, you do have to write an essay. When I wrote my essay, the question was, how will you incorporate diversity, sustainability, and innovation as a future designer of Canada, or something like BS like that? It was so open-ended, but they're just looking to see that you have the potential to academically write a paper. Like, if you just do not know how to write, I don't know how you expect to succeed in university, because it's not just technical skills. You need to be able to communicate your vision, and you take actually a lot of courses that are based in history and sociology, i.e. like history of art, history of design, history of costume, textile, so you actually do write a lot of papers as well. Just going back to the portfolio, now the requirements are very different, because when I applied, there were very rigid guidelines. They said, we want A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, cool, done. However, now they kind of give you a mix and match menu if you look online, saying, please choose one from this category, please choose one from this category. So essentially the portfolio has been cut in half in the amount you have to submit, which, in my opinion, I guess it's less stressful, way less stressful. But then again, because you have less pieces, you have less chances to show off your ability as an artist. As for how to get your portfolio here, you can come turn it in person to the School of Fashion office, Kerr Hall South 243. It took me a while to find, to be quite honest, when I first came here. I was in chemical engineering. I got so lost. Or you can courier it here. I would recommend, though, you come drop it off in person if that's an option, because I was just so paranoid of some logistic reason messing up my portfolio, of it not getting there, or of it being damaged, or something crazy and not making the deadline. That would be absolutely heartbreaking. So yeah, I made my mom drive me up to Toronto to turn it in person. So if you're handing in the portfolio, again, hard copy, it's not acceptable to just email it, and you have to turn it in all hard copy to make it very clear. Also, because it's all hard copy, make sure you have a copy for yourself. So go to Staples, or even print it at home and scan all of your stuff to have a copy for yourself. Ryerson doesn't ask for originals. So if you'd like to give them the copy and you feel it doesn't compromise the quality, go ahead. I gave Ryerson all copies of my work. My advice for people who are working on the portfolio is to get a mentor. My mentor when I was in high school was my art teacher. She actually went to Ryerson herself and taught there for a period of time, and so she was amazing and very accommodating, and my portfolio counted as my summative project for the 12th grade, so it took off so much stress for me, and she was amazing. I would not be in this program as it wasn't for Alexa and her guidance, so thank you, Alexa Liebritz. My other piece of advice is to just get started early and begin to edit your work. Don't leave this for 3 days or even a week before. Give it time to settle, and then to reflect on it days or weeks later and say, okay, could I do better? Do I think this is accurate? Does this represent who I am? Does this really show my abilities? Ryerson does have a portfolio day or workshop, I think, where they'll show you portfolios that have gone into the program. I never went to that, but a few of my colleagues did. I don't know if it still exists. However, something I did, I went to National Portfolio Day at OCAD. I was going to go there as illustration, maybe. Like, if I didn't get into Ryerson, like, maybe I consider applying there next year. But it was helpful because I had no idea what the caliber of other students going in was. When I went to school eventually and arrived, I found out, like, a lot of people in the same position as me. They came from very small towns with not a lot of arts and culture going on necessarily, just a high school art program, maybe some with a specialized arts high school. But other than that, people were pretty, like, even. Like, their talent was because they had honed it themselves, not because they went to some fancy like school in Paris. However, there were a few people that had gone to this fancy couture school in Northern Toronto and Woodbridge, and so they already had a lot of the prerequisite knowledge of pattern drafting and sewing, and I was just like, shit. I'm completely self-taught with my mom who started me sewing, and so like I was very concerned that I would not be able to keep up, let alone get in. So don't worry, people. Most people are coming from, like, the middle self-taught level, like family studies, making PJ shorts and pillowcases level. It's okay. But on that note, do not expect that alone to get you in. You need to have a driving passion to succeed and to be very hungry to learn. But anyways, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me, because I know crunch time is coming up, because I believe it will be end of January that portfolios are due. It was super intense, and it was very nerve-wracking because, again, Ryerson was the only place I applied to. My heart goes out to anyone in the same situation, and don't feel bad if it's the only place you applied to, because I just knew I wanted to go to Ryerson. It was Ryerson or Ryerson, because I applied to the same 2 different programs, fashion design, fashion comm. And if I didn't get in, I didn't even know what I was going to do. I guess it meant I would just keep applying, or hopefully someone would drop out and I get offered a position early in the fall. However, luckily it all worked out. Here I am. It's a deep thing, but know who you are when you're sitting at that portfolio. Be confident and know your strengths and show them off. I hope you guys have a happy break, and I'm going to go write an exam, so bye!